Well, thank you very much, Rob. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we begin another institution here in Canada, Hockey Day in Canada, and this is a great Canadian hockey story. The goaltender for the New York Rangers. As Rob mentioned earlier on, the big boy Lundqvist will wait till tomorrow's game against Washington. Cam Talbot comes in from Caledon, Ontario. In this, just his 15th NHL game, his first against the Senators, and he is a magnificent story that we'll get into over the course of the game. Greg Anderson, again as Rob mentioned, 6-0-2 in his last 8. He will face the Rangers for the 13th time. He's only had 3 regulation losses against the Rangers over the course of his career. This afternoon, our referees, Tim Peel, who actually refereed his first ever game in the NHL between Colorado and Ottawa. Justin St. Pierre working with him. And on the lines, it's Steve Barton and Kyle Murchison. 2 points separate these two teams. Ottawa 9th in the East. New York is 6th. 1 of 3 between these two. First of 3 between these two. Sens 4-3 overtime. Lost Thursday against Montreal. And the Rangers come in off a 1-0 win Thursday against Detroit. Rangers in the Ottawa zone trying to pick it up. Can't do it, and out the center. Puck is flipped ahead by Zibanejad as he tries to get it back to the neutral zone. Conacher can't feed the puck quickly through to McCulloch. And now the Rangers take control. At the line. Through the line and in. Here's Pouliot. Gets a shot away. It's deflected. Zibanejad picks it up. Back the other way he goes. Tips it across. Cross corner. It's dumped into the zone by Milan McCulloch. Conacher tried to chase it. Couldn't get to it in time. And back out to center now. Puck is thrown into the zone by Stepan. Out of net, Anderson. Here's it. Cowan put in a bad spot as he got the puck late. Now he falls. Back to the point it comes. Here's Stahl. Sends it in for a tip. It's redirected in front. And actually went off the leg of Karlsson. Back around the boards for the line. Stahl comes down the wall to hold it in. Back to the point. Nash with a shot. Redirected. Hits the post. Stepan with the redirect. And it goes off the post in the neutral zone. Bobby Ryan to the line with Turris. Turris. His shot right on. Save is made. Rebound pops back out. MacArthur through the crowd. Blocker save as Talbot makes that save with the blocker. Rangers now trying to slow it down. Come out of their own zone. Here is Stahl. Drops it back to his partner. Stralman now. Slowly to center. Puck is lobbed into the zone. He heads off on a change. Karlsson hanging in the corner to get a puck. Comes free. Spezza steers it away. And now picking it up. Here's Karlsson to center for Spezza. Spezza goes through the middle. Couldn't connect with Greening. Rangers break it back the other way. Karlsson gets across to get the stick in the path of that shot by Callahan. Along the boards. Senators trying to get it out. Here's Stone. And the Winnipeg Jets shovels it to the other side, but couldn't get it to a friendly stick. Spezza picks it up. Spezza slides the puck ahead. Karlsson up to the line, dumps it in. He peels off on a change. Colin Greening goes in on more. Along the boards. Puck is flipped off the boards. Back out to center by Callahan. The play is whistled down. And the faceoff will come back down inside the Rangers' end.
Well, the coaching staff has changed for the Rangers, but the one thing they still do well is they get on the puck extremely quick, and that causes the poor exchange between Cowan and Anderson, and it turns the puck over, and this will result in a puck coming to your net. And it's a perfect example of put every puck you can towards the net, and Nash does that. He's been the hot hand for the Rangers with 4 goals in his last 6 games, and that one just glances off the goalpost and comes back through Anderson.
Off the faceoff. Shot from the thought doesn't get through. Here's Neal with a shot. That's knocked down before it gets to the net. Talbot pushed into the net. Passy in the scratch for this game as Neal comes back in the lineup, and that forces Condra to go to the left side. Normally a right winger, but Neal will play the right side. And Eric Condra will play the left. To the line, bouncing puck. Smith can't knock it out of midair. Here's Condra tipping the puck in deep. Goes to the corner to get it. Condra out of the corner trying to pull himself away as he tries to get some separation from Girardi. Ceci in to try and help out. Zach Smith tries to whip it back along the boards. Can't get the puck in deep as it's knocked down by Carcillo, and now the Rangers look to break out of their own zone. Here's Pouliot to center. Fires it in, takes a bump from Bobby Ryan as he does it. Chris Phillips now. Up and looking for options. Banks it off the boards, down to the Ranger line. Through the neutral zone, down to the line. Zuccarello tries to move in around Ceci. Ceci blocks him off. Back along the boards again, Ceci. Shoulder checks and sees that he has support. Uses Chris Phillips, and Ottawa breaks it out. Here's Zibanejad to the line. Wanted to get it back from McCulloch, but it was tipped off his stick at the last second. Here's a steal now. Back to the point. Ceci works it across. Methot lines, fires, scores! Marc Methot!
What a blast. And it comes off a great breakout. And this is the one thing that we talked about Paul McLean today, and he mentioned the puck management of his hockey club in their end. Here's a play up the boards, a nice chip into the middle, and you're out of your zone, and you're on the roll here. It goes to McCulloch, leads to a good forecheck by Zibanejad. Everything working in their favor. Turn pucks over, move the puck quickly. You cannot keep up to the movement of the puck. Good job by Ceci to lay it over to Methot, and he's walking into the puck. He's rolling towards the net. He gets to unload all 230 pounds of that towards the net. And finds the back of the net in a 1-0 lead for Ottawa.
Unless there's a redirection that we didn't spot, that's going to be Methot's 4th goal of the year and first in 10 games.
It didn't look like it hit anything. There was traffic in front. It looked like it was clean, but I don't think he had a good look at it.
Puck is lobbed back down to the Ottawaans. Methot doesn't need to get credit for the goal, as Greivis steers the puck away from the intended receiver, Chris Kreider, and out to center. To the line and in. Here's Bobby Ryan with a nifty move. Tries one extra one. Couldn't get it to Greider though. Here's Turris in the corner to steal it back. Turris along the board, slips it in behind the net. Ryan centering pass. The one-timer low and just wide from Eric Condra. Back to the point. Carlson fires one through, looking for the redirect. Rangers now trying to get out of their own zone unscathed. Stepan backhands the puck. Here's McDonough around the boards. The Panther comes down the wall to hold it in and does. Back to the corner again. Centering pass just slides by. Back to the point. Carlson drops it back for Zach Smith. Smith tries to go through the box. There's a shot through traffic. That's knocked down. Side of the net. It bounces back and Stepan now shovels it away from Chris Neal to the line. At the line, Callahan back out to center, trying to work himself around both Cowan and Smith. Taps it down to the Ottawa end. Carlson from center dumps it down inside the New York end. Here's Delzato with it now. Slips the puck ahead. Lead pass by Richards, gets by everybody, and that will be icing.
When they acquired Bobby Ryan, they knew they had a guy who could score some goals. He had a slick set of mitts. He could make you look silly if you're not paying attention. And right here, again, off a good breakout, he makes Girardi look silly, going right through him. Just doesn't get the pass through, but he's known as a goal scorer, but he's also got great vision of the ice. And here he finds Condra right out in the slot.
Spencer to take the draw. Puck trickles back to the line and out. Hagelin flips it in, and Anderson will cover up and hold on as Callahan was bearing down on him. A face-off in the Ottawa end.
Well, a real good start for the Ottawa Senators. A good flow to their game, and Craig Anderson is on a bit of a roll of late. And I don't think it's any secret that the Ottawa Senators struggled early in their end. He had to handle a high number of great quality scoring chances. And as Paul McLean told us, you can't be expected to make 9 and 10 Beller saves every game. He's capable of making 3 or 4 for you, but they were hanging him out a little too often. And although he's allowed more goals, certainly his win-loss record and his save percentage has improved drastically in the last 5-6 games.
Really going into this season, the Senators' defensive zone coverage was so poor at times. The worst job in the league being an Ottawa goalie. It was just very difficult to find your pattern, find your timing. As Stahl takes a shot, doesn't get through. McCulloch sends it to an open corner. Conacher gets there first, tries to hack it out of the zone, couldn't do it. Pouliot, his shot, whistles wide of the net, back off the boards. Zuccarello sends it in front. Pouliot again, back to the point. Through traffic, Strallman shot. That's knocked down by Anderson. Back along the boards, Conacher wins the puck, flips it back out to center. And now McCulloch just dumps it down inside the Rangers end. Senators get the 5-man change they both want and need. Rangers doing the same.
You know, when you talk about your end zone play, and we mentioned the fact there's 3 combinations to it. One is your puck management. The other one is your positioning, right? And your ability to exit your zone on the breakouts. And I think Paul McLean mentioned that it was the puck management was their problem.
Centering pass, and that one goes off Boyle's stick and up into the glass. To the corner it goes. Turning with it now. Carcillo sends it back in behind the net. Along the boards, Moore. There's Moore trying to turn it back to the front of the net. Anderson kicks it back to the corner. Boyle. Along the boards, Greider dealing with him. He's 2 very large men. Greider is a 6'4", 230-pounder, and Boyle is a 6'6". And Goes about 6'7", goes about 245. So those are two big men going to the corner together. Ottawa with a 1-0 lead here in period number 1.
Senators welcome them to their practice as part of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Now, the junior grads were selected by Scotiabank for giving back to their community over the course of the season. This minor league hockey team organized a food drive, bought Christmas presents for families in need, and honored fallen Canadian soldiers on Remembrance Day. Now, the team watched the Senators practice, and afterwards, the Sens surprised them by inviting them onto the ice and presented them with Senators jerseys, courtesy of Scotiabank. Guys?
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Yeah, and then had a little ongoing game, a couple of games 3-on-3 with them. That's Cody Ceci might be on that team right now. Out to center. Spezza with a one-arm reach back. Down into the zone, here's Delzato. Turns it back to his partner. Moore's pass goes by everybody all the way down ice. Anderson steers it ahead himself. Out to center. Stone tries to go cross ice, knocked down by Nash though, and Nash bobbles the puck at the line and puts himself offside.
Tough start for the season for Rick Nash. Of course, he took that hit in San Jose, missed quite a few games with a concussion. It didn't look like much of a hit, and then the pressures of Team Canada, which falls on so many of these star players, people don't realize how bad they want to be there, and it seemed to just put a lot of unnecessary pressure. He did not play extremely well, and all of a sudden he gets picked to Team Canada. A lot of weight falls off his shoulders, and the next thing you know, big man starts scoring again.
Well, the injury problems he had last year and then the concussion this year, there were many who thought he might not be able to make Team Canada. So when the selection came from Steve Yzerman, I'm sure he was happy to hear it, and I'm sure the Senators happy to hear the whistle go and this penalty call. Derek Stepan caught for the hook, so Ottawa will go to the power play.
When you have puck possession, and the Senators have had a lot of it in the first period, you draw penalties. You could draw penalties. You're not only getting offense and end zone time, but right here, Stepan has to reach in on Bobby Ryan, who's had a pretty creative start to this game already, and the Senators will look to go on the power play. A power play that's been kind of clicking a little bit of late. Goal by Erik Karlsson last game, the wide open gaping net, and a nice pass from Spezza, and we'll see if they can recreate some of that magic here early in the first.
Hagelin to the line, gets a shot away right on Karlsson. Sends the puck ahead to Turris. Turris down to the line. Goes wide side. MacArthur breaks on, pulls back to get everyone into the zone. When the Rangers steal the puck away and a chance to clear. And it's sent all the way back down ice by Ryan McDonough. Penalty call is coming here, and it's going to be a hook. And so 4-on-4 will begin. A 25-second Ottawa power play evaporates. Mark MacArthur will go off. 2 minutes for the hook.
Coaches hate it when you have reaching in penalties. You're in the offensive zone. He turns over the puck, and then one mistake leads to the next one, which is you lean in and you hook it. You'd rather see it go down and bring it back down. You got plenty of time on the power play, 1 minute and 35 seconds, as opposed to negating the power play altogether. So we'll have a little more ice to work with here in the 4-on-4.
Stick in on Dan Girardi, so yes, 4-on-4. Even strength, Ottawa is so far this year the better of these two teams. Ottawa is a -3. Nothing to write home about, but the Rangers at even strength this year are on -13. Penalty call is on the way against Ottawa as the Rangers get the goaltender off. Talbot gets to the bench. They get the extra attacker out, and here's Rick Nash.
Give him the puck. Give him the puck. Lay it right down on Anderson and get a face-off in their end. They're just wasting time.
Here's Richards to the line, sends the puck ahead. Moore inside the zone. Goes wide. Nash moves in, his shot right on. Anderson makes the save. Here comes the penalty call for high sticking. A hit back in behind the Ranger goal. Back behind the play is going to give the New York Rangers the man advantage.
And one of your penalty killers, Condra, whose stick gets up right in the face of Rick Nash. And a road power play for the Rangers, which ranks 3rd in the National Hockey League, slightly over 25%, is going to go to work here with 11:17 left here in the first period and down 1-0, and a great opportunity for the Rangers to strike here. And it's been a problem for the Senators all year, the minor penalties. Of late, they've really made an improvement there, but you've got to try to stay away from these minors that band together and get the opponent 2-man advantage here.
Ranger power play, good overall, top 10 in the league, 7th place. Gary's right, on the road they've been outstanding. 3rd best road power play in the league at almost 26%. Richards drops it back. Here's McDonough. Back to Richards. Turns, fires, it's knocked down, and Anderson makes the save. Swallows up the rebound. Nothing for Callahan to find.
Richards, a known forward who plays the point on the power play, kind of like a Ron Francis. He doesn't have a booming shot, but he does have a great wrist shot. It's very accurate. He'll walk himself right into a one-timer position and get this to the net. Good screen by Callahan, but actually great job by Anderson to track that puck through Callahan and make the save and not give any rebound.
Off the draw, puck in the corner. Cowan tried to lean on Callahan. Callahan trying to dig it out. Does. Back to the point. Here's McDonough. McDonough straddles the line. Drops it back. Moving in. Quick shot off the post. Second post of the period by the Rangers. Broussard gets it across. Now switches spots. Richards gives it back to him. Broussard misses. Broussard again with it now. Back to Richards. Richards moves it in, gets it back, lines, fires it, blocked by Jared Cowan. It trickles back to the line and back out. And the Rangers have to withdraw. Here's Richards again to the line. McDonough. Step on is out. It's a 5-on-3 back in front. Loose puck in the high slot. Here's McDonough. Down low to the corner. Step on, puts it to the goal mouth. Scores! Bad angle in the corner, but Richards puts it top shelf, and the Rangers will stay on the power play.
Well, you're right. 13 seconds will come off. They'll still have 53 seconds left on Condors. And again, the two-man advantage is the one that's so hard to defend. You're down low, and the guys have been out there for a little bit already, killing the first half of this. And Richards finds the quiet zone way off to the side where no one's paying attention. And it's hard to stop that down low hard pass because Anderson has to hug the post. He's got to respect Stepan, and he slides it right through to Richards, who just takes a split second to make sure he picks his spot, and then he buries it hard for his 13th of the year. A power play goal for the New York Rangers that knocks this game all up at 1.
For Richards, that is his 3rd power play goal of the year and his 12th power play point. As Ottawa dumps it back down ice, 45 seconds remaining in the 5-on-4 Ranger power play. To the line, Richards goes wide side to Nash. Nash cuts to the forehand, tipped off his stick. MacArthur swings at the loose puck, clears the puck ahead, short-handed. Here's Turris to the line with MacArthur, drops it. MacArthur, his shot doesn't get through. MacArthur gets his own rebound. Carries it back out to center to waste some time. Now turns around, fires it back into the Ranger end. Del Zotto now back of his own net to get it. Center, lead pass to the line. Zuccarello couldn't get in cleanly. Del Zotto tries to go it alone. Cody Ceci just slaps it back out to center.
5 seconds. 5.
Less than 5 seconds now to go as Condor is back on the ice now. We're back to 5-on-5. Back at center. Broussard bounces it off the board. Ceci. McCulloch along the boards. Everybody scrapes for it. Finally comes free. Here's Pouliot. Throws the puck to the corner. Cowan to get it. Jared Cowan. From Allen, Saskatchewan. Up is sent ahead by Spezza. McCulloch gets to the Ranger line and gives it away. Quickly back the other way. Strowman cutting in. Cowan gets a piece of him, so he drops it off. Puck to the corner. Moore sends the puck down deep. On the other side, Pouliot cycles it back. Here's Zuccarello at the other side. Going to turn back quickly on Cowan. Slaps the puck in behind the net. Moore. Here's Moore now. Turns, fires it in. Save is made. Anderson comes up, bats it to the corner. And that one whistled down as a high stick. Faceoff will come to the left of Craig Anderson when we return to this 1-1 game. Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada on CBC continues.
Back Sens and Rangers tied at 1. I'm here with Eugene Melnyk, owner of the Ottawa Senators. It's Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. It's all about community this year, and your team and your community has really been involved.
Yeah, we have had a great time here. We had yesterday the players came out on the ice, playing with the minor hockey leagues, and they just had an absolute ball. We're doing whatever we can to make sure that hockey is the mainstay of Canada as it is.
And you look at your front office in the recent weeks, some changes to Murray heading over to Buffalo, Brian Murray getting an extension. How does that change the landscape of your front office?
Well, it solidifies it. You know, what it does is these are all kind of long-term plans that have to be put in place, and it's the future of the franchise. And we're really pleased that Brian signed on, and Pierre signed on, and Randy as well. So it's great for the team, great for the organization.
Thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Happy Canada.
Thanks a lot, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Rob, thank you very much.
It seems like Canada Day, doesn't it?
It does.
It is Canada Day in a way. And congratulations to Tim Murray as well. I think the one thing that you have to understand is when you have quality people who are good at what they do in your organization, you can't keep them on.
Other people want them.
Yeah, it's impossible, and it's good that they move on. It's a feather in the cap of the Senators organization that a guy like that moves on and gets to a higher spot in Buffalo, and hopefully will do a great job there.
McCulloch with a turnover. He steals the puck away, couldn't center it. So often, Gary, we talk about depth in an organization as well, and we're always talking about players. Carlson loses his stick, goes to the net. Callahan couldn't get the shot away. Back the other way. Here comes Conacher. The Senators able to fill that role from within. Also shows the kind of depth that the organization has with two outstanding young executives and Pierre Dorion and Randy Lee. Randy Lee, actually, talk about how hockey connects. Alain Vigneault, of course, coach of the New York Rangers. Randy Lee worked for Alain Vigneault when Alain Vigneault coached the Hull Olympics. We're going back a ways there.
One thing common about all these things, the thread, we're getting old.
We're getting old. More you than me. I'm very young. To the line and in. Centering pass, knocked away from Nash at the last second. Unable to hold it in as Kreider up. Here comes Spezza to the line with Greening. Slides the line. Spezza trying to bust through. Puck is lying there, just cleared away at the last second by Stahl. Back out to center. Rangers to the line. Here's Kreider. Drops it back. Nash with a shot. Blocker save. Puck is gloved back to the corner by Ceci. Along the board, Spezza steers it ahead to center. Back into his own end. Here's Strallman. Shadowed by Alan Green. And St. John's, Newfoundland. Parents still live in Assumption Bay South. At the center. Pass. Here's Turris to the line. Turris with drive. Drops it. Drive to his shot. Blocked on the way to the net by McDonough. Back to the corner. Bouncing puck. Bobby Ryan comes in. Angles off Zuccarello. Steals the puck. Leaves it in the corner. McCarthy tried to feed it back to the net for Turris. Bouncing puck. Comes free and on the other side now. Girardi tries to get out. At the clean exit, but job done as Zuccarello tries to drop it to the line, but it's offside as he breaks his stick trying to put it inside the Ottawa zone. 1-1 here in period one on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Welcome back. Time now for your bio, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Now, Paul McLean and Alain Vigneault may be on opposing teams today, but back in the 1978-79 season, they were teammates on the Hull Olympique of the QMJHL. They were eliminated in the first round, but today I asked Alain Vigneault the difference between that Paul McLean and this year's version. He said, same mustache, less hair. Guys?
Smaller glasses. He had two drive-in theaters there on his eyes. But great story there. The add-on to that was that Paul McLean was released from that team after the first set of cuts, then went to the coaching staff and told him he'd pay his own way to stay in the camp because he hadn't had a chance to skate a lot in the summer and he felt he was going to get better, and he absolutely did as he made that team.
Boyle with a shot, gloved down by Anderson. And now a bit of a meeting beside the Ottawa net. And Carcillo and Chris Neal reintroduced themselves to each other.
It wasn't like, some guys had to work all summer. Whatever you were doing, you didn't obviously have all that ice time to go to and just work on your game. So for Paul McLean, buying that extra time, willing to pay his own way to stay in Hull, gave the coaches a better chance, a longer chance to look at him, and at the end of the day ends up playing for Team Canada. Goes on to play for the Winnipeg Jets. And both these guys not only having good careers as players growing up, and of course Paul with the Winnipeg Jets and scored a ton of goals, continuing.
Played CIS, played it for a year at Dalhousie as well. Back to the point through traffic, knocked down by Greening. Back to the net. Trying to work it to the front. Hagelin gets tied up, can't get it where he wants it to go. Out the other side now. Centering pass back to the point. Held in very quickly by Strallman at the line. Along the boards now. Stone trying to get it by Strallman. Does ahead. Spezza to the center. Goes wide side. Here's Jared Cowan, and that one whistled down on the offside.
Ottawa had a great start in this game. They had the Rangers on their heels. They had them down 1-0. They were going on to a power play. Everything was looking like it was falling right in their way. And within a few seconds, the hooking penalty to Clark MacArthur, okay, on an offensive zone power play, takes a hooking penalty, okay, now you're 4-on-4, doesn't mean much, ill-advised high stick. And the next thing you know, the Rangers light it up on a 5-on-3, get the game tied, and get their feet kind of back on the ground, get a chance to get their breath.
That momentum change. You look at the shot clock, and that indicates it 11-5 favoring the Rangers, but maybe more precisely, you look at shots directed towards the other team's net. New York has directed twice as many shots to Ottawa's net. 20 for the Rangers, 10 for the Senators. And that is that momentum shift. Drive out to center. To the line, Turris. Leaves it there, McCarthy. Cuts back, now swings it to the corner. In behind the net, here's Bobby Ryan. Loses the puck, Nash steals it away. Long lead pass at center. And now Stepan fires it around the boards into the Ottawa end. Anderson wanted to follow the puck into the forbidden zone to play it, but realized couldn't. Here's Greiba. Picks up an errant pass in front of his own net, out to center. Puts it off the back of Bobby Ryan's skate. That gives it back to Nash. Nash in the slot. His shot goes off the skate of Mark Mafat. Here's Bobby Ryan now. Drops it back. Not exactly the way they draw it up on the exit out of the zone, but Ottawa does get the puck back to the neutral zone now as Ryder gives it back to Mafat, and now they get to the neutral zone.
Rule of thumb is you want to miss him ahead of him. You never want to miss behind him. Number one, it puts him in a more precarious situation when he has to look back for it. Number two is you turn it over and it's coming back your way.
Conacher along the boards, backhands the puck ahead, and Ottawa gets out with it. Here's McCullough to the line. McCullough into the zone. Sends it in front. Zibanejad couldn't get a shot away as he was tied up nicely all the way in by Zuccarello. In the neutral zone. Rangers to the line. Here's Del Zotto. Leaves it. Brassard with a shot. Glove down by Anderson, and again he will hold on for a face-off to the right of the Ottawa goal.
Attack from the Ottawa Senators to the Ranger net, and Milan Mihalek's trying to find Zibanejad, and what a great job from Zuccarello on the back check. I mean, that's what it's all about, as you see the turnover we talked about earlier, and Nash walking in on the Greiba pass that was slightly behind him here. And here's Zuccarello driving in, and you know what? It's not just body. You got to get your opponent's stick off the ice and away from the puck so he can't deflect it. And that's exactly what he did, taking Zibanejad to the net.
Off the draw, Carlson slaps it along the boards, back to the line. Strawman holds it in, but right on the stick of Spezza. Spezza down to the Ranger line. Spezza trying to get away from Callahan. Bouncing puck. Stahl trying to clear it, and does bat the puck ahead. Back out to center it comes. Carlson jumps up and banks it back down to the New York end. Icing. Waved off. Spezza goes in hard to try and win the puck back. Spezza centers the puck. Goes off Dreening. Back to the point. Carlson spins and shoots at the puck low and wide. Rangers just trying to get out of their own zone safely, and Spezza still trapped in the zone. Offside the call of Stone. Created the turnover, but Spezza was still trapped inside the New York end.
One of the bright spots, you look at what Clark MacArthur has meant to Ottawa. Well, that's exactly what Zuccarello has meant to the New York Rangers. First 7 games of the season, not really a good start. Did not look like anything was kind of moving. They sat him out a game. And sometimes a healthy scratch can wake you up, and boy, did it ever wake up this guy. 32 points in his last 38 games. He gives their third line some secondary scoring. He gives them speed and his work ethic. His teammates crave about it, and there you back check on Zibanejad is living proof of that.
One of those guys that's always had to work harder to make up the size difference. Neal with a shot. Another one pops off the glove and over. Condra back of the net trying to dig it out. He is buried in behind the net. Centering pass, Neal again in front. Can't get it to the net. Tries to hold it in. Here's Kreider to center. Carries it down to the line. Drops it to the wall for Nash, but Nash had turned back to head to the bench. Out to center, deep pass. Here's Condra to the line. Ceci jumps into the play. Condra turns it back. Tries to throw it to the net, off a leg. It banks in behind the goal. Moore steals the puck away from Zach Smith out to center. Kreider now. Leaves it for Del Zotto, who fires it along the boards into the Ottawa end. Quickly, Carcillo back along the boards for Moore. Stolen away from him by Bobby Ryan, but couldn't get it out. There's a shot, drifts high over the Ottawa goal. Moore back to the corner. Carcillo to the corner for Boyle. Boyle tries to cut back. Mafat gets in his way. Back to the point now. Here's Moore. Fires it through, drifting puck, knocked down in the corner. Zach Smith trying to get his stick free. Centering pass goes off a leg to the corner. Moore again trying to squeeze by Zach Smith. Picks it up, clears it. MacArthur ahead to center. Here's Bobby Ryan in the neutral zone. Throws it wide side, trying to bounce it in for Turris. Didn't connect the dots. Back the other way. Here's Boyle moving in, goes wide. Can't get a good shot away as Carlson gets the stick in on the play. Boyle back to the net. Sends it to the point through traffic. Knocked down in front. Puck is loose in the high slot. Turning with it. Penalty call is on the way as Zuccarello is taken down in front of the Ottawa goal. And the Rangers will go to the power play. Tripping is the call.
Well, some slashing and whacking going on still down in front of the net, as I believe Zuccarello took exception to MacArthur and tried to chop one of his legs off. This is some down low play by the Rangers, and they are a good forechecking team. They do turn over pucks. Boyle's a big guy. Nice bank pass back to the point. When the shot came to the front of the net, it was a bit of a scramble as MacArthur will make his way to the penalty box, as I believe he is maybe getting the original penalty. And again, a lot of crowded bodies in front, and right there he sticks his leg out as Zuccarello is trying to spin around and get the puck to the net. And then right after that, as he's going by, MacArthur, I think, is trying to goad him into taking one with him, and not a bad idea. But Zuccarello gave him the whack, and the referee will give him that. One push for one whack, and we'll just have the one penalty, and it'll be a power play for the New York Rangers, who already have a power play goal in this game.
Last year in the 3 games between these two teams, the Rangers were 1 for 10 combined on the power play in those 3 games. So already they have equaled their power play output against Ottawa from all of last season already in this opening period.
And again, like Paul McLean said, you know, it's okay to take penalties, but you just can't take such a large number of them that you put so much stress on your penalty killing. It's hard to have good penalty killing numbers when you're taking a large number of penalties every night. And so far in the first period, the Senators are guilty of just taking too many penalties, as that's MacArthur's second of the period.
Back to the point. Here's McDonough. Slides the puck across, asking for it back. Down low to the corner. Centering pass that hits a leg, bouncing puck, wide open net. And Richards tried to get the backhander to go, and Anderson just got the stick up. Here's Richards. Tries to lay it along the boards. Phillips goes in hard on Brassard. Here's Brassard, back with it. Drops it to the point. Richards, Brassard walks in, delays his shot. That actually went off Anderson and to the corner. Here's Richards now. There's the puck ahead. Zuccarello gives it away in the neutral zone. Jared Cowan just flips it back down inside the New York end. The final 40 seconds of the opening period. And McCulloch in behind the net. Tries to tie up Stepan. Does. Stepan loses his stick. Now Greening trying to slow things down and keep the Rangers pinned in their own end. Turning with it. Rick Nash now sends the puck ahead. With speed to the line. Here's Stepan. Fires it hard around the boards. Andrew tips it back. Carlson tries to give it back to him. Puck hops up in the air. Back to the point. Girardi there to hold it in. Stepan flips the puck to the corner. Kreider in front waiting. Bad angle shot. Glove down by Anderson, and he holds on.
6 seconds left in the period, and what a save by Craig Anderson here. Richards, who already has a power play goal in the game, again, he hides himself over away from the pile, and they know he's there. The puck squirts over, and Anderson comes across. It looks like he gets it with the shaft or the butt end of his stick right there, and knocks it over the top of the net. What a save for Anderson.
You're right. It looked like I didn't really. It looked like it kind of went off the edge of his blocker, then the shaft of the stick, and then up and over.
He was there.
Don't ask how pretty they are. Just did to make. There's a shot knocked down, loose puck, and the horn goes to end period number 1. 30 seconds of power play time. It will still be on the clock for the Rangers as they come back to open up period number 2. But at the end of 1. Here in Ottawa, Senators and the Rangers are tied at 1. Ron McLean and Lloyd coming up. The intermission from Lloyd on the way on Hockey Day in Canada. Back inside Canadian Tire Center here on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. 1-1. The Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers as we get set to open up period number 2. And we will open up with 30 seconds of power play time for the New York Rangers. That much time remaining in Clark MacArthur's minor penalty, a holdover from period number 1. And off the draw, Zach Smith drops it back. Cody Ceci winds up and hammers it back down ice. On the boards, Rangers. Slow in their power play breakout, trying to get the formation they want. Here's Stepan to the line. Delays, then dumps it to the corner. Ceci in again, chips it along the boards. And Condra slaps it back out to center. Knocked down, though, as it was shortstopped by McDonough.
10 seconds.
The Panthers back out now. We're back to 5-on-5. To the line. Nash loses the puck. Back the other way. Condra leaves it for MacArthur, who lofts it inside the Rangers' end. Ottawa making its changes now. Nash flips it off the boards. Tipping it down to the Ottawa and Condra along the boards. Can't get it out. Here's Nash with a steal. Nash throws it towards the net. tipped away by Anderson. Cody Ceci now as the Rangers change. Gets it to Chris Phillips. Chris Phillips, born in Calgary, Alberta, but of course grew up in Fort McMurray. Down to the line, puck is tipped. Rangers 3-on-2. Here's Richards. Busting in, sends it in front. Puck is knocked down loose in front. Anderson makes the first save. Another puck comes to the front of the net. MacArthur slides it across. And out to center now. Here comes Turris. Ceci jumps into the rush. Turris to Ceci. Couldn't get a stick on it as he turns back for a change. Back to the neutral zone. Cowan puts the shoulder on Callahan and turns the puck back out to center. Now he gets it back from Bobby Ryan. Weaving at center, tries to get it in deep. It's knocked down, and now Carlson has to track it back to his own end. Erik Karlsson from back of his own goal. The Swedish Olympian sends the puck down ice, and obviously thought there was going to be a zig when there should have been a zag, and the intended pass slides all the way down ice for an icing call.
You think they don't want him skating it out? Two guys down low waiting just to corral him as the puck seems to be following Brad Richards around. He's already got a goal and a couple of good scoring chances, and there he feeds a nice one into Hagelin, who gets a pretty good goal scoring opportunity. Good save by Anderson.
Off the draw back to the point. Moore along the board. Zuccarello looking for the backdoor play, and it's knocked out of midair by McCullough. On the boards. Karlsson tries to slide it up the boards. Goes off his stick and up into the mesh. And the whistle. Let's go down to ice level. Here's Rob Pizzo.
Yeah, guys, I spoke to Rangers assistant Scott Arneal in the intermission. He said one thing that got away from the team was the forecheck. They want to make Erik Karlsson work to get the puck out of the zone. Also said the Sens have one of the best counterattacks in the National Hockey League. So when they do give the puck away, all five guys need to come back. In other words, no lazy back checking. Guys?
Erik Karlsson is going to spend 2 minutes or less in the penalty box here as he chops this thing up and out of play, bangs it off the toe of his stick, and that's a inadvertent puck over the glass. The Rangers were yelling for it right away, and Rob's right. I mean, when you have a guy like Karlsson back there who loves a ton of minutes, your transition game's going to be good, and he's a big part of that transition.
Another kill for Ottawa. Right now the Rangers over one of the power play with 2 shots. There's a nice pad save. Ceci sends the loose puck off the boards back out to center. Here's McDonough. So far in the game, the Rangers 1 for 3 on the power play with 4 shots. As Stepan gets to the line, dumps it to the corner. Condon to turn and get it. Fires it instead, puts it right on the stick of McDonough, who misses. Went top shelf, tried to find the top corner blocker side and just missed. Back the other way. Zach Smith cuts in, loses the puck. Condon with a shot. Blocker save. Here's a wraparound attempt by Smith. Couldn't get it to go. Back along the boards, knocked off his stick. Tell that has not been all that busy. Just 6 shots so far in this game from Ottawa. Rangers again to the line and in on this power play. Around the boards. Kreider sends it back to the other side, to the point. Richards works it across. Centering pass. Broussard tries to tip it. Here's Stepan. Mafat clears it away from him. Out to center and back down ice by Colin Greenman.
Well, the Rangers are obviously looked at a lot of tape. That's 2 passes in a row from their defenseman right into the high slot.
There's a breaking attempt, centering pass, just goes off a stick, and Pouliot couldn't get to it. Back to the line. Puck is held in there by Girardi. Zuccarello now tipped off his stick, and back to the point. Richards with a shot right on, and Anderson makes the save and swallows the rebound.
It's taking what they give you, and again, off a good face-off by Stepan, and he finds himself open. 5-on-5, it's normally center on center. But when you're short-handed, the 2 forwards are looking to get out in the penalty kill, and that leaves Stepan open. Watch him slide himself right into the middle, right there. And a good turnaround shot that Anderson makes a good save on, and then Broussard later on gets a nice feed in the high slot. So certainly it's an area of the ice they feel Ottawa maybe is neglecting a little bit.
Off the draw, puck comes free. Dozada sends it back to the point. Another chance down low. Here's Zuccarello. Up the other side, tries to wrap around. Breaks on, tries to center it. That's knocked down. Centering pass again. Through traffic. Broussard can't get a stick on it. Here's Stone. Sends it all the way back down ice. This will be the final rush with a man advantage for the Rangers if they can get it up the ice. Steps in there trying to break it up, and he does. Spezza throws it cross ice, but it actually hits Stone. Ceci now with it. Leaves the puck there. Karlsson's out of the box, calls for it, gets it in the neutral zone. Tries to feed Spezza, hops over his stick. Out of the net, Talbot tries to play it along the board. Spezza tries to center the puck. Boyle gloves it down as he and Condor go for the same puck in the corner. Boyle just trying to hold on to it, takes a weird bounce. Now the puck is steered ahead and redirected out to center. In the neutral zone. Driver trying to get the puck ahead, back to the neutral zone, waiting for it there. Good shot from the wall. Talbot makes the blocker save. Back to the point. Lafont just throws the puck back in behind the net. Along the boards. Greider comes down the wall to hold it in. Puts Hagelin into the boards. Rangers now looking for a way out. Boyle in behind his own net. Girardi steers the puck ahead, and it's cleared back to center. Long lead pass. And Hagelin had it knocked away from him before he ever got a chance to get in a position to touch it. Brings the icing call and a face-off back down in the New York end.
You see more and more teams doing this. Look at the 4 Rangers all in the corner. You know the offensive team's going to forecheck 2 guys on the puck. So you got 2 guys in there, but you got 2 more sitting off the pile. And what those guys do is they take the loose puck and they create the breakout. And that's how you exit your zone. It used to be 1 defenseman always in front, 1 in the corner, and then your centerman moved around. Now it's like a collapse plus. They take advantage of the numbers and they turn over pucks to exit their zone.
Puck went off of somebody up and out of play, most likely Milan McCulloch, so the face-off will come outside the Ranger line.
Well, things are tightening up in the Eastern Conference, and you look at, of course, the divisional leaders, the top 3 teams, but where it's going to get interesting is in that wild card spot where you look at the 2 lower teams in the Metropolitan, Philadelphia and the Rangers, and you just lump them in with Toronto right down to Detroit. And all those teams are going to be fighting for those 4 spots that'll be available, which is, of course, the 2 in the Metropolitan and then, of course, the 2 wild card.
Just get that sense right now that it's going to be decided on the last day of the regular season. You just got to get that feeling that, you know, watching it and tracking it each day is something that we do, but you just have a feeling it's going to be a game 82 kind of thing.
You just can't get on that roller coaster ride as a team when you're in the mix like that.
And pass goes off the leg, wide side pass, and now McCulloch picks it up. It's a safe play back out to center, picked up there by Anton Stralman. Goes wide side to his partner. Stahl back through the middle. That's knocked down before it gets to Moore. Moore turns and just fires it in himself. Here's Erik Karlsson now in behind his own net. Tries the lead pass, can't connect cleanly there. It's tipped back down to the Ranger end by McCulloch. And again, Ottawa can't get the breakout that they want, but they do get the puck back to the other end of the ice where Cam Talbot covers up. And we were talking about this before the game about Talbot. We said we'd get into it, so maybe now is the time. Gary, this is a guy who was never supposed to make it. He played Tier 2 hockey, didn't get drafted, went to a hockey powerhouse, the University of Alabama at Huntsville. He's only the 2nd guy to ever play in the NHL out of that school. But here he is in the NHL, 9-3-0 record. He's playing great.
And that's exactly what you want from guys, that every year he gets better and better. It doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish, and he's found himself in the National Hockey League.
Here's Nash with his shot off the leg. Back to the point. Another drifting shot. Big left pad save from Anderson. The Rangers continue this onslaught at the Ottawa net, both in shots, chances. Puck's directed to the net. 21-9 now. Shots on goal. A simple shot count in favor of the Rangers. Here's a steal by Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan to the corner. Gunner grabs him, holds him in the corner. Nash comes in. Turris tries to steal the puck from him. Nash puts him to the ice. Puck comes free back to the front of the net. McCarthy unable to get on it. Chris Neal leads all Ottawa players in shots. He has 2. Which is quite impressive considering he's only played 3 minutes and 14 seconds of ice time in this game. Out to center. Colin Green. Cross corners the puck into the Ranger end. Delzato in to get it. Runs it along the boards. Green makes contact with his man as the Rangers bring it back to center. On the wall, Driver ties up Delzato as he tries to speed in and steal the puck. Now he has to deal with Callahan. On the boards now, Callahan going to bring it to the front of the net. Driver won't let him turn. Here's Richards coming out. Sends it in front. Bouncing puck skips off the stick of Hagelin, and Ottawa out with it now. To the line, Lafont. Green turns around, whips it cross corner into the Ranger end. Hagelin tries to start the rush back the other way. And the play is whistled down offside at the line as Callahan thought he'd got in cleanly, but had not. Still tied at 1 here on Scotiabank Hockey Day in To Four Rooms tomorrow night at 8 on CBC TV.
Well, the Senators have been to the penalty box quite a few times, and the Senator crowd here wanted a penalty as Rick Nash is going to give a little cross-check right there to the back on the numbers of Kyle Turris, and then he looks for a penalty, no penalty, dodged a bullet, and then I'm not sure if he says to him, sorry about that, or what are you, a feather going down? What's the matter with you? But the conversation between the two of them.
That game's all about communication. Puck is dumped down inside the zone. Rangers trying to get it out of their own end, and coming in hard, Zibanejad trying to jar the puck free from Broussard. And the puck is floated back out to center and down to the Ottawa end. Here's Phillips. Tries to clear it out, can't do it. Pouliot with a shot, and it's deflected by Karlsson, who got back in time. Here's Pouliot, side of the net. Centers the puck, it's chipped away. Another shot, that's knocked down. Conacher now steers it off the boards and manages to get it back out to center. Roma now sends the puck ahead again. Zuccarello is taken down by Zibanejad, and the play is whistled down as an offside call.
Mika Zibanejad, since his move to center, I think he's played some real inspired hockey. Here he gets in on the forecheck and a pretty good solid hit to try to dislodge the puck, and then deep in his end, gets down and blocks the shot and gets in the way of the puck, and that's exactly what you want. I think he's just more comfortable at the center position. Sometimes as a young player, you don't always get to play the position that you want to because of sheer numbers. But with the injury to Jason Spezza, it moved Mika into that spot, and I think he showed the coaching staff that it's a good spot for him, and they've left him there.
He's always been a natural center, but there has always been conversation. Might he be at the NHL level a better winger? I think more and more, as we were talking today, Paul McLean likes that center spot. Here's Boyle along the boards trying to get it out. Puck comes free, more to center. Zach Smith comes over, and then Chris Neil buries him. Now Carcillo and Moore both go at Neil, and everybody jumps in. So a penalty call is on the way. Arm is up. I'm not sure who exactly is going to get it, but Tim Peel had the arm up very quickly.
I think it's going to be a retaliation penalty. I really do. Chris Neil, this is what he brings to the table. He's missed 6 games with a hamstring injury. You know he's chomping at the bit to get back in. Zach Smith, this is what this line has to do. Get a little physical. Smith lays the hit on Moore, and then as Moore is kind of concentrating on Zach Smith and the puck, in comes Neil, and he just pops him. Good solid hit, and Carcillo and Moore didn't like it, and they come in, and I believe we're going to get the retaliation penalty, and it's a good call. It was a good hit, and that's what you want to do when you're the fourth line, is get out there, bring some energy, get on the body, try to create something, and right now they've created an opportunity for the Ottawa Senators to go on the power play and try to get back in this hockey game a little bit. Since the Rangers have scored, it's kind of been Rangers kind of taking over the hockey game. This is a chance for Ottawa to grab it back.
Chris Neil from Flesherton, Ontario, population 700. His play gets his team a power play, just their second of the game, and they did not get a shot on their first power play. Off the draw Zibanejad, trying to get away from Boyle. Now Conacher in the corner. Puck comes free, and McDonough snaps it off the board, sends it all the way back down ice.
Good job by the Rangers recognizing McCulloch's stick snapped in half, and it's a 4-on-4 play, and they just got all over the puck and got the clear.
Zibanejad to the line, doesn't get in cleanly. Rangers cleared back down ice, and Phillips forced to chase it. Hagelin chasing him. At the center now. Here's Cody Ceci. Ceci to the wing. Phillips carries it in, gets the puck in deep. McCulloch goes to get it. Tries to sweep it around the boards. Hits his stick back in front. Quick shot by Zibanejad off the turn. And McCulloch back to the net. He's knocked down. On the boards, Phillips pinches to hold it in and does. Puck is finally cleared back out. Stepan knocks it down in the neutral zone. Puts it into the Ottawa end. Heads off on a change. Here's Phillips back at his own net. 55 seconds remaining in the Ottawa power play. There's the Senators trying to get unit 1 on the ice. Here's a steal, shorthanded back to center. Zuccarello, Callahan tries to turn it. His space is taken away from him by Mafat. Now Bobby Ryan leaves it for Mafat. Mafat finds Erik Karlsson. Only 2 players in the league, on average per game, spend more time on the power play than Erik Karlsson. Alexander Ovechkin is the leader in the league in that account. Here's Mafat back in his own zone, drops it for Karlsson.
10 seconds.
Last rush of the man advantage for Ottawa to the line. Knocked down by Stepan and put back down inside the Ottawa end, so they will not get another full rush.
You don't even get Jason Spezza on the ice. I mean, you don't even get him on the power play. That's a tough one for Ottawa.
To the line, Spezza now knocks it down, but offside is the call. And this will be debated by the Ottawa players, but nonetheless, Val Murchison makes the call, and a face-off when we return. Team Canada on the road to the Olympics with up-to-the-minute results, news, stories, and more at cbc.ca/Olympics.
Not sure if the Rangers' penalty killing was that good or Ottawa just not that good on the power play. After McCulloch broke his stick, they got nothing going, and then by the time they got the MacArthur, Turris, Ryan line out, they just could get very little into the zone. And at the end of the day, like I said, Jason Spezza never really got onto the ice, and I guess the last 45 seconds, you don't want to have 4 forwards and a defenseman out there in a 1-1 hockey game, but there's a guy that can create something on your power play.
Sounders have not created a great deal in this one, although they are tied at 1. From the point, Cowan down low to the corner. Back in front, centering pass. Zach Smith couldn't get Goodwood on. Here's Chris Neal. Back in behind the net, he sends it. Back to the point. Cowan sweeps it across. Carlson winds, fires. That's knocked down. Loose puck as Neal sends it in front of the net. Bad angle shot by Smith. Back in front again. Neal jams away. Puck is still loose. Cleared to the boards. Cowan reaches to hold it in. Back along the boards. Puck is chipped back out to center. In the neutral zone. Hagelin. Stood up by Cowan. Rangers to the line. Callahan sends it in. Couldn't connect the dots though with Richards. Long lead pass to Spezza at the line. Spezza pulls up. Looks for help. Drops it along the boards. Condor puts the puck in deep. Out of the net. Talbot sends it back along the boards. Rangers break it out. He's more to the line. Cuts through traffic. His shot low and wide. Off the boards. It's chopped to the corner. And now Colin Greening picks it up. Lifts it off the glass. Back to center. Trying to feed Stone. Now to the corner. Here's Rosado and Spezza. Greening knocks it down. Back to the point. Mafat with a shot. Low and wide. On the boards. Feeds it back to the point. Mafat. Back to Spezza. It's bottled up though. Has nowhere to go. And the puck comes back outside the line. Stone tips the puck in. Ottawa makes some changes now. Talbot steers the puck across to Moore. Out to center now. The side shovels it through the neutral zone.
Puck playing by Talbot. I mean, the last 3 times Ottawa's entered the zone, he's been a big part of them breaking out.
Here's the lob. Nash. Ceci tries to jump back and get him. Scores! Top shelf goal! Rick Nash blows it over the shoulder of Anderson.
If you can't make it direct, aerial it. Why not? Get it up and over the top, and I'm not sure if it was by design or accidental. We'll have a look at it. And Rick Nash, who had postured himself out in the neutral zone, and he has a ton of outside speed, blew down the wing. And although Ceci does a good job of catching him, as you see the puck gets flipped off the wall and over the top of Phillips. And Ceci was going to cut him off, so there was going to be no cut in. And Nash knew that. He took a quick look, and when he took a quick look and got the puck settled down, he decided to go far side top shelf, and what a shot by Rick Nash. That's his 5th goal in 6 games, and he is on a roll right now, and the Rangers take the lead.
12th of the year for Nash. As Carlson makes his way back up ice. Here's Carlson. Down to the Ranger line and in. Gets a shot away and hits Talbot in the throat with it. There was very little angle left. Simply the goaltender being there was enough.
Needing more offensive zone end time right now. The power play didn't give them any end zone time. They've got to start getting more on the offense here. And there's the one off the wall. And Chris Phillips is hoping to hold the puck in the zone if he tried to bank it. But the puck took a really high kind of flight, got over the top of him. And when you leave a guy like that much time to settle a puck down and have a look where he's shooting, he's going to pick the corner.
So Ottawa now in get-back mode as they want to get that back. Off the draw, here's Girardi. Try to sweep it to the corner to Carcillo. They'll try this all again on the other side now. Lead pass, and here's Boyle to center. Boyle cross corners the puck into the Ottawa end. Anderson off the plate. Carcillo tries to center the puck, hits the side of the net. Carlson now works the puck ahead. Bobby Ryan. Cross ice to MacArthur. MacArthur at the line. Lays it ahead. Bouncing puck doesn't go anywhere. Carlson really had nowhere to go with it. MacArthur now back in his own line. Slides it across. Cowan beats the puck ahead. Turris to the neutral zone. Carlson again to the line. Takes it wide. Gets a shot away. Low and just wide. Off the boards. Turris tries to send it back to the corner. Now ties up with Carcillo along the boards. Smith trying to track. Here's McDonough out the other side. McDonough chips the puck ahead back to the neutral zone and down to the Ottawa end. Lafont quickly returns it back down to the Ranger end. And this one whistled down as an icing call.
Good job by Erik Karlsson kind of getting it going here. Last shift he had two really good chances, the speed of it, and that's the one thing you want to do. You want to throw speed at the Rangers at all costs.
It's time for the Captain Morgan Icebreaker. Why not try a Captain and Cola? Captain Morgan, the official rum sponsor of the NHL.
Too comfortable a road game for the Rangers. The Ottawa Senators have got to start to push a little bit here offensively.
Now the frenetic pace that Ottawa had in the Montreal game, they have not been able to replicate in this game. He's driving back to get it. Keeps it along the boards. He takes some contact. And Neal takes a bump. Callahan, long shot from the wall. Gobbled up. As now Callahan and Neal take turns disagreeing with each other. And from the point is Stahl, who tries to grab Neal by the back of the head. So Zach Smith grabs him by the back of the head. And they've unanimously agreed to dislike each other. A one-goal lead for the New York Rangers here in period number 2 on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada on CBC.
In this game, and of course we see a little bit of it here. Neal's been involved in it. There's been any of it. The 2 times it's happened, he's been involved in both of it as Callahan and him kind of jostle there together. An emotional game for Ottawa versus Montreal. I mean, it was one of those games that it brings the best out in you. And almost 40 shots after 2 periods for Ottawa. Right now they've got 12, and they're just not creating anything. And I think the fourth line has gone out and tried to create something. They need their top lines now to start to create some offense and some offensive chances to get some excitement going.
Brassard centering this line for New York. Grew up in Hull across the river, and his line mates, Pouliot, born in Alfred, which is exactly, I mapped this out, 94.1 kilometers from this building.
Too far away, and these 2 teams certainly had a playoff round. And anytime you have a playoff round with somebody, it brings out the best in the rivalry in you. Of course, John Tortorella was the coach of the Rangers at that point, and they were a much more physical, much more hard forechecking, shot blocking type of team. That has changed slightly under Alain Vigneault. You don't see the hard hitting and the shot blocking that you once saw. He wants to be more of a puck possession offensive team. It's changed their identity a little bit.
No question. We were back in front. Greening couldn't get a shot through as Moore got in his way. You look at the numbers and you can't help, Gary, but look and see that the block shot numbers are way down and the hits are way down. Zuccarello sends it in front, slow roller. Zuccarello goes after the loose puck, knocked off his stick. Here's Brassard now. Tries to send it back in front. Zuccarello heels the puck. Now Girardi puts it in behind the net. Goes to the front of the net. His shot misses, goes over top of the net. Karlsson picks it up. Erik Karlsson to center. Skates into the zone, takes it wide, gets another shot away, and again tries to knock Cam Talbot's mask off.
Well, he has single-handedly tried to create some offense for Ottawa in the last 5 minutes of this game, and he's done a heck of a job doing it. He's cruised up this right side 3 times now. He starts in his own end. He takes the ice that's given to him. Why not? They push him to the outside. He has scored from this spot many a times. He's got a real quick snapshot, and Talbot knows this. I'm sure he's got plenty of film on him. He's held very tight against the post. He's not given that short side at all. But good on Karlsson, and maybe one time waste one down low along the pads and see if he can't make a pad pass to somebody who's driving to the net. He needs to have somebody going with him here.
Stepan, who quietly this afternoon is having a heck of a game. He's assisted on both of the Ranger goals today. Here's C.C. Waite, fires it back down inside the Ranger end. Here's Chris Phillips now. Down low to the corner, centering pass. Neal side of the net, trying to stay on his feet. He's all bound up in the corner. Zach Smith fires it in. Talbot to save. Puck is skipping back out front. Now the Rangers clear it away out the center. Talbot goes wide side of the line, trying to get it away from Rick Nash. Back to the corner. Here's Stepan. Step on up the other side with Zach Smith on. Sends it back to the point. Here's Girardi trying to fire it through for a tip. And step on now. He's back against Zach Smith to the other side. Phillips. Contain his man and control the puck. Zach Smith steers it ahead at the center. Ceci to the line. Carries it in. Breaks on. Ottawa changing, trying to find the late man. It was Turris. Bobby Ryan with a bad angle shot, and that one goes up into the net.
To talking to Alain Vigneault, one thing he mentioned to us, and coaches can be coy. I mean, they don't want to give you all the trade secrets, but at the end of the day, he said, you know, we're not a shot-blocking team or an overly excessively physical team because we have the puck more. And I'm not sure I'm buying all that. I mean, I get it that as of late they're playing some pretty good hockey. I think this is a personal choice on how he wants his team to play. Take the hits when they're there, okay, be physical when you have to, but we want the puck, we want to get offensively moving, we want to be a little tougher team to play against offensively.
Now they will do this again. Well, you're right, and you know the numbers kind of show that under John Tortorella. It was a team that he wanted them to block shots, and he wanted them to be aggressive on guys. Right now, block shots in the league, New York is 19th. Last year they were 6th, the year before they were 4th, the year before that they were 4th. Right now they're 10th in the league in hits. Last year they were 3rd, the 2 years before that they were 1st. There is a very clear mathematical change in the way this team plays compared to the last coach and his philosophy.
If you go back to the way he coached in Vancouver, I think you'll find similarities in that. You know, I mean, he wants to challenge his players to get going offensively. And you look at a guy like Richards, who played for Tortorella in Tampa Bay, won a Stanley Cup, had trouble playing for him in New York. I mean, it looked like it was just a relationship that was just not jiving together. And you look under Alain Vigneault, and Brad Richards' game has improved vastly.
Two different philosophies. Both philosophies, ironically enough, have had success.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was their identity, and they did it well.
To the line, Cowan knocks it down, dumps the puck back down inside the Ranger end. Here's Girardi back to chase it. On the boards now, Richards at center. Slides the puck ahead. Hagelin down the wing, trying to cut in. Carlson just comes across, knocks him off the puck, and then sends it ahead. Here's Spencer. Drops the puck back. Cowan with a shot. That's a high riser that misses high. Back to the point. There's another shot blocked on the way to the net. Trickles back there at the center. We'll be looking up in the mesh board, but instead it's at center ice. Cowan through the middle. Zibanejad to the line. Spencer throws it down to the corner. It's knocked down. And Stahl steers it back to the boards for Richards. That's out there now with McCulloch and Zibanejad. Paul McGreen appears to be trying to shuffle the deck and generate something. Down to the line. McCulloch, his shot. That one went way high. Back out the center it comes. Here's Carcillo with it. Down to the Ottawa line coming across. Mafat takes away his space with a nice hip shot. Here's Moore. Couldn't get on the puck. And Ottawa now breaks it back out again. Here's Mafat. To the wing for Conacher. Icing waved off. Talbot out of the net. Goes to play. He's knocked down by Conacher. Conacher sends it back in front off the stick of Turris. Puck is held in. Here's Carcillo. Turns it back out to center. To the line and in. Boyle goes cross ice. Turning with it now. Here's Moore in his own zone. John Moore goes up the right side. Gets the puck ahead to center. It's tipped down to the line and in. Here's Dominic Moore to chase it. Bobby Ryan slaps the puck. Turris. Finds the open man. Ceci finds the open man. Into the zone, not the clean entry that Ottawa wanted, and the Rangers take advantage of that and clear it back out. Broussard feeds it back to the Ottawa end. MacArthur runs it around the boards, then sidesteps the check from Pouliot to the line. Attempt by Bobby Ryan fails, and the Rangers again try to vault back the other way. To the line, Pouliot with a wrister that goes over top of the net. Here's Zuccarello with it now. Ceci flips it in behind his own net. Anderson comes up to try and play it. He's down. Sticks flying everywhere, and a new disagreement emerges.
Crazy bounce off the wall, but some physical play kind of creeping into this game. You look at Erik Karlsson on the back check on Hagelin. Good job defensively to bounce him off the puck and then start the offense rolling. And right here, I guess the referee decided that Conacher did not have enough room to get around Talbot, but he did drop the shoulder on him. Lucky non-call there. Because normally when that goalie gets contacted like that, it's an automatic. And right there is Zuccarello at the net, looking for the loose puck. That was loose. He hit the side of the net, but Anderson was able to kind of corral it and get it under his glove. But I think Ray Conacher dodged a bit of a bullet there. He's one of those guys that likes to get under your skin when he's playing his best. He's driving people crazy on the ice, and a little bump to Talbot to try to get him off his game.
Well, like you said, usually that results in a minor penalty of some sort, or if it doesn't, it usually results in you getting punched in the mouth by somebody. So there's usually a result. Puck is dumped to the corner in the final 35 seconds of this second period. Here's Rick Nash, dumps it back down inside the Ottawa end, and Mark Methot back to pick it up. Here's Methot now. Lead pass out to center. Chris Neal tries to knock it down. Instead, the stick was knocked out of his hand, so he spins Nash around. It's dumped back in. Here's Carlson. Drops it back, step on, scores! A giveaway from Carlson ends up in the net. It's 3-1 Rangers.
Not quite what you want to have happen with 11.5 seconds left in the period. And the Rangers put a puck in. It looks like it's harmless. It looks like everything's going the right way here as Carlson heads back. He's the guy you want to have it, and he chops this puck. It's not a typical reverse that you throw off the wall and it runs along the wall. He's going to chip this live action play straight back out into the almost into the side slot. And right there is Stepan, and he just fires it into the net. It's hard to blame Anderson here as he's following Carlson, and it gets right thrown on the short side. And wow. The Rangers take a 3-1 lead in this hockey game off some sloppy play from Erik Karlsson.
So Derek Stepan.
That's puck management right there in your end. I mean, late in the period, you just want to make sure you don't give it in.
A late goal by the Rangers has them leading by 2 at the end of 40 minutes. And Derek Stepan now with a goal and 2 assists in this game. And some milling about after the horn here is the Ottawa Senators. Not at all pleased with the state they put themselves in, down by 2 after 2. So stay with us, much more to come from here, and also our second intermission coming from Lloyd. Ron is there awaiting you.
To the Canadian Tire Center as the Rangers have themselves a 3-1 lead over the Senators. I spoke to Sens assistant coach Dave Cameron about something Dean and Gary were talking about in the second period, and that is momentum on the power play. He said, you got to win face-offs to get it, so that's something they have to improve on. Turris and Spezza, a combined 5 wins and 13 losses in the face-off dot tonight. So let's send it back up to the guys, Dean and Gary, for third period action. Guys?
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Yeah, you know, face-offs, I think, probably amongst many things the coaching staff is dealing with during this period, Gary, because you're right in what you said in the second period, that the emotion level that Ottawa carried into that Montreal game is nowhere near the same level in this game.
You got to have emotion, and you got to have a passion for the game when you're playing it in order to create stuff, and it just looks like there's been a lack of that on the Ottawa side.
We're into period number 3 as the Senators try to right that, down by 2 after that late goal by Stepan at the end of the third period off the Carlson giveaway. And here's Spezza now, fires it around the boards. Greeny trying to tip it back this side, shovels the puck, can't get it out. Rangers trying to move it along the boards in from the point. Puck is tipped out to center. Here's a 2-on-1. Broussard, Zuccarello back in front again. And Zuccarello actually healed the shot. Back to the point. Here's Moore. Moore fires it through. That's blocked on the way to the net by Ceci. Ceci sends the puck ahead out to center. Bouncing puck. Here's Stone. Shot from behind, so he just throws it in. It goes off the blocker of Talbot up into the mesh.
You remember the goal where Stepan aerialed it over the top of Phillips. He was trying to hold the blue line. And again, you want to try to create some offense. So again, hold the blue line. And right here, coming down the pinch is Ceci, and there's just not enough coverage for him. And here's a 2-on-1, and if not for a misfire here by Zuccarello, this game could be 4-1. I mean, that's exactly good play by Broussard. He waits to find the lane, and he waits to put it in the pinwheel, and he lets it rip, but unfortunately, a misfire.
Off the draw, right on. Save is made by Talbot, back to the point. He's driving, whips it across. Methot. Back to the corner again, Neal. Tied up by Stepan. Zach Smith tries to slide through and tip the puck ahead, out to center now. Rangers didn't have the breakout they wanted. They'll roll back and do this again. Girardi, long lead pass, Stepan tips it in. And the Rangers get their full 5-man change. last Rangers goaltender to beat the Ottawa Senators, who wasn't Henrik Lundqvist, was Jussi Markkanen, November 23rd, 2003. Callahan to the line. Carries it in. Zibanejad tracks it. In behind the net. Here's Jared Cowan. Takes the puck ahead. It's deflected and goes up and out of play. So a faceoff will come back down towards the Ottawa end.
They say timing is everything in this game, and Cody Ceci, local kid, comes up to play for the Ottawa Senators, and since he's been here, 9-4-3. He's entrenched himself in the lineup and in the good books of the management. Luke Richardson's done a wonderful job with him, and he's going to be a good one. I mean, I like his range, I like his movement, his mobility. I think the one thing he's learned from Luke is the containment in the defensive zone and how to make sure he's positionally solid defensively, because the rest of the game comes easy to him. He's a powerful skater. His puck movement is good. He's got a great shot, good power play guy. He's just going to get better and better, and a good job by Luke down in Binghamton.
Very frank response from Paul McLean when asked about that earlier this week. He said he'd come to watch 67's games here, and he'd leave after 2 periods because he couldn't stand to watch him play. And he said now he's learned how to play. There's Carlson with a shot through traffic, and Talbot swallows it up and holds on. You know, the coach was talking about the fact that, you know, Ceci was a guy who could do so many things, but the defending part was the part that was, and he was, you know, he was a young player, but going down to Binghamton, learning from Luke Richardson, you know, played over 20 years in the National Hockey League as a defenseman. I know it seems odd to say, but he taught the defenseman how to defend.
Well, it's important. I mean, it's everything. You don't want to have a person on the ice who's a liability for you when you're in your end, and you've got to be able to play that 200-foot game and then bring out the best of yourself when needed.
Back to the point, grab a shot low and wide, swept back to the net by Talbot. Here's Girardi off the boards, just gets it out. The Fox to grab it back through the middle. Spencer puts it inside the zone, tipped away from him, grab it center. Tries to play it back along the boards, but knocked down by Pouliot. Spencer drops it to Stone. Here's Stone now. Winds up and fires it in, and then he is blisted into the boards by Pouliot. Plays whistle down on the offside. And Pouliot actually slow to get up after he laid the hit on Stone, who seems none the worse for wear.
Well, big guy Stone, but again, any passes that are behind you. And when Jason Spezza lays this one across, it gets in behind Stone, so he has to get it back, get it to his forehand, and then try to get the line to dump it in, and that exposes you for a hit. And he took a good hit there by Pouliot, good clean hit, and it looked like Pouliot stumbled afterwards and might have hurt himself.
In the neutral zone, Mathot knocks it down. The line, puck is chipped ahead by Ceci. Into the zone by MacArthur. On the boards. Puck is sent around the other side by Strawman, but not out. Bobby Ryan tried to get the puck back in front. Fell in trying to do it, though. And the Rangers back to center. Brink wide pass to the line. Here's Kreider. Trying to turn the corner on Ceci. And Ceci just takes away his ice. Around the boards. Strawman with a shot. Punched back out again by Anderson. To center. Here's MacArthur to the line. Bobby Ryan, his shot right on, but rebound, and Strawman steers it clear, and then he takes contact from Bobby Ryan. It's flipped ahead back out to center by Stahl. And the Thunder Bay native heads back to the bench, but icing the call, so he'll be forced to stay back out again.
And we'll show you a bit of that difference in what he's learned down in Binghamton and what he's brought with him. Kreider, a real powerful, strong skater, and Cody Ceci not only makes the pivot at the right time, he puts himself on an angle, on that 45-degree angle that just does not allow Kreider to do anything but run into his body. Dislodges the puck and gets it moving to exit the zone. Good solid play by the young defenseman.
Zach Smith and Stepan in the circle. Here's a shot drifting high by Conger. And from the point, Phillips. Back to the net. Zach Smith has it knocked off his stick. And is gathered back up again. Loses the puck. And Strawman figures it not out. Phillips there to hold it in. Back down low to the corner. Puck is knocked away. And again, the Rangers just trying to get it out and get the change they wanted before the icing closed. Ryder along the boards is pressured by Chris Neal. Puck back to the line. Carlson can't hold it in. Bats it back to the corner. Ottawa clears the zone. The Rangers will get the change they need, or most of it. Strawman, the lone player left in the last shift, gets the center, dumps it in, and now he will go off. Out to center. Zach Smith plays the puck to the neutral zone. Del Zotto just snaps it back down inside the Ottawa end. Puck is cleared ahead. Zibanejad to the line, tries to split the defense, goes in, and the puck is cleared by Talbot back out to center. Talbot may have only been playing his 15th NHL game, but he is 26. He's not a kid, and you can tell he has some confidence going out to play the puck. Outside the call as McCulloch took that pass inside the zone.
I mentioned earlier in the game, Dean, in the second period, he had a number of exits out of the zone for his team playing the puck. And right here, a nice little chip up to Zibanejad, and he lays it through and uses his body to cut through. And there's Talbot who comes out, and it's a good decision to make. Come right out, play the puck. He plays it strong. He looks very confident. And as you mentioned, he's not a young goalie. He's a guy who's been through it, and he's ready for this challenge. And you look at some of the backup goalies in the league this year who have great numbers, and he's one of them. And the guy out in LA, Jones, who came in and had all those shutouts. I mean, these good young goaltenders that are coming up.
As we mentioned earlier, he's only the second player to come out of the University of Alabama in Huntsville to make the jump to the NHL. The other player was Jared Ross, who played 13 games for the Flyers. So not like the University of Alabama at Huntsville has a rich and deep hockey tradition. Here's a steal. Carlson Wine fires and a toe save by Talbot. And as you mentioned, Gary, an opportunity is a huge part of it. He's gotten an opportunity, and although he might not have the pedigree of a lot of other players, a lot of other goaltenders, he has made the most of the opportunity that he's been given.
You know, when you come into this situation as a young goaltender, you've got Henrik Lundqvist. And I call Henrik the king of 2 or less. This is what he does when he's playing his best hockey. He allows 2 or less goals. He does it more than any other goaltender. In his last 5 starts, 2 or less, and they're having success. And you know you're not going to get a lot of games. The key is, as a backup for the Rangers, is when you get a game, you got to be ready to play. And that's the one thing Marty Biron did for many years for the New York Rangers, backing up Lundqvist. And right now, he gets a chance, and he's done a wonderful job. 1.66 goals against average. I think that's pretty good for a goaltender. I don't care what age you are.
When he got his first win, the teammates in the locker room played Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got a few nicknames to go with it, as we'll have a couple of penalties here.
Sard and Turris not agreeing with each other, and so they disagree with each other using their sticks. And they'll sit 2 minutes to think about that behavior.
And you know what? It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters that every single season that you play, you continually get better, you work on your game, and eventually people will take notice of it. And I think that's exactly what happened. And it took that game, as we look at the penalties here, it took that game in San Jose where Marty Biron got lit up a little bit to make the decision to bring him up and give him his opportunity. And when you get your chance, you got to make good of it. And he's done that.
Here's McDonough reaching for it. Around the boards, he gets it to Girardi. Feeds the puck ahead to center. McDonough jumping up into the play, carries it in. His pass knocked outside of the net. Anderson gets across quickly and makes the save on what could have been a great short side chance for Nash. Here's Carlson now down to the Ranger line and in. Slides it to Zibanejad. Swings it up the other side. Quick save is made by Talbot. The puck came sliding through, got a good shot away, but Talbot had it hit him. Richards back the other way, weaving inside the Ottawa zone, drops it back to a spot. At that spot, Stahl misses the net. Round the boards, Richards picks it up. Richards fires it through, knocked down in front of the net. Here's Mafat, steers the puck ahead, but out of the reach of Milan McCulloch. Back to pick it up. Here's Anton Stralman in behind his own net. Stralman slowly back up to center. Goes to the wing, Stahl. Puts it inside the line. Hankin throws it wide side. Back to the middle. Smith intercepts a pass. Wheels it around and heads down to the Ranger line. Zach Smith to the line for Bobby Ryan. Ryan tried to give it back to him. Back to the point. Ceci wanted to go D to D. That was taken away, so he just sent it to the net, looking for a rebound chance for a teammate. Zach Smith turns it back along the wall. Knocked off his stick. And the puck is cleared out as Callahan just sends it back to center and down to the Ottawa line. Ceci again. Out to center. Zach Smith to the line. His shot misses high. Phillips tries to chop it back to the net. It is gloved and held by Talbot. A 2-goal lead for the Rangers here in period 3 on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada on CBC. Hockey Night Close-Up brought to you by Subway Restaurants.
Derek Stepan, we're going to have a look at him. Nice little shot in the slot there. And, of course, the down-low pass across to Richards. Power play goal there. Then he had the aerial pass to Rick Nash off the wall. Good smart play. Trapped Phillips. Nash came down, buried this top shelf. And then on the Erik Karlsson miscue late in the second period, he goes far post and in. He's got himself a goal and a couple of assists, and he only had one assist in his last 6 games, so certainly a bounce-back game for Derek Stepan.
Shots are 8-2 for Ottawa in this third period. They are trying to mount the comeback. Laid into the zone, tipped away though, and Stone puts it back out to center. And Jared Cowan now. And challenging, so he heads to the line. Can't connect and get in with any kind of pressure. Out to center. Broussard tips it down to the Ottawa line. That doesn't work. MacArthur back to the middle. Here comes Spezza busting in. His shot right into the chest of Talbot, and he holds on.
The Senators with a couple of really good chances and haven't been able to find the back of the net and get this crowd on their feet and get some energy in this building. Mark McLeod missed one just earlier, and here, nice little pass from the wall to Spezza, and he comes in and tries, looks like he was trying to go 5-hole there. And good job by Talbot to get everything tightened up, and again, good job at not leaving any loose rebounds.
Richards and Smith. Off the face-off, Condra falls, and that allows Strawman to walk it ahead. Richards from center tries to drive it in instead. Drives it into the leg of Hagelin, who limps back to the bench.
That shot blocking you were talking about.
This is not blocking shots anymore. He's stalled down at the corner. Breaks on to try and elude Zach Smith. Steers the puck ahead. Neal knocks it down to hold it in. Strawman up the other side. And again, Neal gets over there to hold it in. And again, Neal again tries to hold it in. Out to center. Here's Richards. Ceci back to defend. Richards drops it back. Knocked down, and Ottawa breaks it back out again. Here's Zach Smith. Lead pass at center, misses everybody. This will go for an icing call and a face-off back down in the Ottawa end.
Well, it's all about getting in the shooting lanes, and that's exactly what you have to do to block shots. And unfortunately got in the shooting lane of his own teammate, Brad Richards, and he gets him right on the side of the kneecap, and believe me, those sting. And he gets to the bench, and he's one of those players that under Alan Vigneault has really found some new life and more ice time and more playing time as he's in the lineup every single night. And it's been one of the reasons the Rangers team has been playing much better. He brings a lot of speed to the forecheck and driving into the zone, and now he's going to have to do it on 1.5 legs because that one stung him pretty good.
A couple of years ago in the skills competition, he was the fastest skater in the National Hockey League. Got great wheels. Here's Del Zotto. Fires it through, looking for a tip. Puck is loose in front. Anderson with the save. Spezza couldn't get control of it. Back to the point. Here's Del Zotto. Walking in, gets a shot away. That's blocked by Spezza again. Spezza now throws it out to center. Cuts off a shin pad down to the Ranger end. Here's Moore. Moore turns to get away from McCulloch. Spezza funnels him to one side of the ice, then steals the puck from him. Gives it back to McCulloch. McCulloch in the zone. Shovels it back to the net. Stone goes in to try and chase it to the corner. Spezza runs it back to the point. McLeod to Karlsson. Karlsson tries to lay it in, hits the side of the net. Bounces over the stick of Stone. On the other side, here's Del Zotto. Back to the point. The puck couldn't hold it in. It's chipped back out. Rangers changing as Karlsson's back to retrieve it. Karlsson back to McLeod. Steers it to the line. And the Rangers just clear it back out again. Karlsson tries to feed it ahead for Turris. They miss. And so that means a face-off back down the Ottawa end once again.
Anytime there's a coaching change, new players get new life and get opportunity, and certainly that's been the case. And on the defense, it's been quite a bit of a change as well. As you look at the ice time changes since Alan Vigneault's taken over. And of course, Del Zotto, who's a guy who's been under fire and part of trade rumors, and his ice time has dropped over 5 minutes, and Stahl as well, close to that 5-minute range. But it's been Moore who's gotten the ice time, and I think it's his ability to play with Del Zotto. I think he's settled him down. Both of them are very mobile, and it seems to have made a big difference in their 6 defensemen on the backside as a core.
The line centering pass. Talbot knocks it down and then finds the handle and covers up. We'll take a break. A 2-goal lead for the Rangers here in the third on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Welcome back to the Rangers and the Senators. There's Derek Moore of the New York Rangers. He's got himself a little bit of an audience for this game because his brother Steve, who's approaching the 10-year anniversary of his career-ending injury, held a ball hockey tournament today at Thornhill Golf and Country Club with proceeds going to the Steve Moore Foundation. And this is what they were playing for, the Hockey Day Thornhill Cup. The plan was this: they play hockey right up until 2 o'clock. Once they do that, they go indoors and take in Hockey Day in Canada. Guys?
Nice story, nice trophy. It's kind of familiar in some ways.
Anything that looks like a Stanley Cup, you know someone wants to win it.
Carlson comes through traffic, knocks the puck free. Turris in the zone, can't go anywhere. Pouliot now along the boards, gets it ahead to Brassard. Brassard down to the Ottawa line. Backhand trying to find the late man, Zuccarello. They couldn't connect. In behind the net, they run it around the boards. Here's Brassard on the other side. He's wrapped up by MacArthur. Pouliot comes through, gives Turris a little bump, back to the line. That was held in by Strallman. Now out to center. MacArthur flips it to the boards. Ottawa changing, as are the Rangers now. As the puck is airmailed all the way back down to the Ottawa end by Strallman, then he heads off on a change. Spezza from his own zone, tries to clear it out, gets it ahead somehow though to Stone. His lead pass into Phillips, runs, fires, right on! Big rebound, cleared all the way back down ice. Ceci in behind his own net again for Ottawa. Phillips trying to get to a spot. The Rangers have 2 men in deep. And the thwart Ottawa's breakout. Here's Stone, drops it for Spezza. Spezza back to the line again. Here's Ceci. His shot right on. Save is made. Bouncing puck in the slot. It's chipped away. Back to the line. Ceci turns, fires, that goes off a stick and into the mesh.
Senators are coming. The shots are 14-3 here in the third period. They've had a numerous amount of chances. They talked about winning faceoffs. Right there, Clark MacArthur. Nice left leg save there by Talbot. And then down the wing comes the veteran Chris Phillips, and he elects to let this thing rip again. Nice save by Talbot, and then of course the shot there from Ceci coming in. They're putting a lot of rubber towards Talbot, and he's been up to the challenge as he's made all 14 here in the third period. And they can just seem to get one. Find one here in the next few minutes and get the energy in this building. It'll be a heck of a finish, but right now Talbot has had the answer for every shot.
Talbot started his career 5-1. Lundqvist has not had a good record against Ottawa of late. He's lost 4 straight regular season games against Ottawa and 6 of the last 7. Back in behind the Ottawa goal. Here's Mafat. Tries to steer it away. Stepan back to the point. Calzada with a shot. Knocked away by Anderson. To the corner. Zibanejad sends it ahead. Out to center. Neal. Feeds the puck to Carlson, who flips it down inside the New York end. Smith in to get it. Chips it around the boards on the other side. Here's Chris Neal. Neal fires it back the other way. Zach Smith on the other side. Lays it back to the point. Phillips with a shot through traffic. It's knocked down on the way to the net and back out to center. Here's Carcillo. Fires the puck in. Back to the net. Phillips. It's turned around by Moore. Ceci clears the puck ahead. And out to center. Here's Zach Smith. Drops the puck there. Gets it back from Ceci to the line and in. Here's Bobby Ryan. Ryan moving in. His shot. High. Now Turris along the boards. Tried to turn it back. But there's no synchronicity there with Bobby Ryan. All the chemistry and flow that Ottawa had going for them in the Montreal game seems to be missing here this afternoon. They're trying to generate, it's just not coming easily. In the neutral zone, Pouliot steals the puck away to the line. Couldn't get through. Puck is cleared, but not out. On second chance, it's cleared again. Not out. McDonough puts it back to the net. Here's Pouliot with it now. Tries to turn it back. Feeds the point. McDonough runs it around the board. Zuccarello on the other side couldn't catch it. Out to center. MacArthur dumps it back to the neutral zone. And coming back with it. Here's Brassard. Couldn't go into the zone as Pouliot was still trapped inside the Ottawa end. Here's Carlson to center. His pass trying to hit Spezza. That one whistled down as an icing call, and a face-off will come back down to the Ottawa end.
Ottawa doesn't have the best power play in the league, but the power play really has let them down tonight. They had the 1-0 lead, had a power play, took 2 penalties, which got the Rangers back on their feet and got them that goal. And then they had a couple of more power plays in the second period where they could have gotten back into the game, but I don't think they failed to get a shot on net. They just never got anything generated, and at the end of the day, it's something that's really hurt them more than it's helped them tonight, as the Rangers have that 3-1 lead with 5:54 to go.
So Paul McLean there with Mark Reeds, and we talk about all the hockey Rivers run deep. Alain Vigneault played junior hockey, of course, in Hull with Paul McLean for a short time in both St. Louis and again in the minors in Salt Lake. Alain Vigneault and Mark Reeds were teammates. Off the boards, McCulloch in to try and win it. Along the boards, Callahan tries to flip it back. John Moore now trying to dig it back out again. Callahan spun around as Richards plays it off the boards, but not out. Back to the point. Phillips wanted to go D to Karlsson, jumping down the wall, and he's hooked as he tries to get the shot away. And a good defensive play there. As I believe it was Carl Hagelin got the stick in on Erik Karlsson just as he was about to shoot.
It's a heck of a play. Ottawa has generated a lot of offense through their defense tonight. You look at Mathot has the goal and had a great scoring chance in the slot earlier. Karlsson's had a few for himself. Chris Phillips down the wing. They're activating their D. That's exactly what you got to do when you're down by a couple of goals. You've got to start bringing everyone to the table, try to pinch off the walls, keep end zone play. And again, they've outshot the Rangers. As you look at Jason Spezza, who found him the other night in Montreal for a wide open net and almost had him right there, and a good job by Hagelin to disrupt the play by getting a stick in on the hands of Karlsson.
Well, again, chemistry can be an interesting thing, and for some reason Ottawa just having trouble connecting the dots. They have made a valiant effort to surge back in this third period to try and get back into contention. At one point in this game they were doubled in shots, and now it's a one-shot lead between the two teams, but Rangers just having a tough time getting any kind of consistent push and some true solid scoring chances. To the line, Zibanejad lays it through for Colin Greening, who couldn't reach it. Nash runs it around the boards. And from this point, Karlsson comes there to hold it in. Puts it around the board. Ceci fires down the wall on the other side. Now Strawman in behind his own net. Off the glass and back out. Ceci has to hurry back, otherwise it's a 2-on-1. He does get some help from Greening, and now back to the line. Here's Zibanejad for Ryan. Ryan back in front. And the shot by Karlsson. He got to the spot he wanted to be in, got the goaltender going the other way, and he missed the net. In the neutral zone. Here's Carcillo. Loses the puck. Kreider with it now. Floats it down inside the Ottawa and heads off on the change. Ottawa opened the scoring from Mark Mathot in period number 1, then 3 straight from the Rangers. Here's Turris around the boards. Sending the pass, knocked down. Turris there to hold it in. Here's Turris. Weaver. MacArthur back at the line, plays it across. Pass it out of the reach of Mathot though. At the center. Here's Boyd. Loses the puck in the neutral zone. Turris plays it away from him to Phillips. Phillips now. And Cody Ceci. Drops it for Phillips. Phillips gives it away to Hagelin. Hagelin busting in all alone. Scores!
Another costly turnover for the Ottawa Senators in the worst part of the ice, right down the middle of the ice. And Zuccarello, one of the hottest players for the New York Rangers, is going to be the recipient of a Chris Phillips turnover. And you look at the one at the end of the period by Karlsson that led to the step-on goal, and this one right here, just too many drop passes, too many soft plays. And he makes no mistake walking in and finishing this game off right here, a 4-1 lead. And again, just not paying attention, puck management, not seeing where the right play is. And the Senators have just been off all night long, and the Rangers have taken advantage of that, and they're going to get a heck of a road win here and hoist themselves up in the standings a little bit here. And again, you look at the Turris line, they've scored 50 goals this year. They've almost got a third of the Senators' goals. They've been non-existent tonight in this game. The top 3 lines for Ottawa failed to generate much. The 4th line, the Zach Smith line, was probably their best line of the night, and they're not going to win a lot of games when your 4th line is your best line.
Jared Cowan knocks Zuccarello down to get the puck free. Puck is deflected by Stone down inside the Rangers' end. Back to the line. Puck is held in by Stone to the corner. McCullough trying to get to it. As Jared Cowan comes across and takes a run at Callahan. Here's Stone to the line. Stone wheels it out the other side, sends to the center. Here's Richards, goes to the wing. Hagelin down the wing, cuts in, his shot misses high as Carlson gets a stick in on that. Out to center now. Leaning to the line, plays it in. Zach Smith. Smith slowly to the corner, sends a shot and blockers save. As Talbot knocks that one down. Back of the net. Here's Chris Neal out the other side. Plays it back to the point. Carlson just fires it through looking for a tip that Zach Smith couldn't connect on. Here's Stroman now. Takes a bump from Chris Neal. Back to the point. Mafat works it across. Carlson winds, fires, and that one all the way around the boards. Mafat gets to the other side. Can't hold it in. Carlson again attacks the line. Tried to go 1-on-3. Bad odds there. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Nash thought about passing it to Kreider. Double clutched. Missed the opportunity to shoot or pass. 90 seconds to go in this one. Senators dump it in. Here's Moore. Rangers back to center. Lead pass knocked down in the neutral zone by Condor. Puck is chopped by Kreider down inside the Ottawa end.
Rangers, pretty good road team. You look at them, they're 14-10 coming into this game, looking to go 15-10, so they know how to play on the road, and to have success in the National Hockey League, you've got to be a decent road team, and they've played a very good road game here in Ottawa.
Top 10 on the road, 8th best road record in the league. And they are going to pick up their 15th road win of the season. As Zibanejad with a shot, again right into the crest. Tries to pull his way to the net. Puck is lying there, and finally Talbot covers up and holds on for a faceoff with 42 seconds remaining in regulation time.
One of the few bobbles for Talbot that he's had all night long. He's been so good, and we'll take you back to the first period, and Mark Mafat ripped this thing home, and the Senators had the Rangers on their heels in the first 5-6 minutes. They were all over him, and then they got a power play and a hook by MacArthur and a ill-advised high stick on Nash, and that led to an eventual 5-on-3, which was buried by Richards. The Rangers got on their feet, they got a chance to breathe, and they've taken over the game from that point. The Senators have put a lot of pucks on the net here in the third period. But the amount of mistakes that have led to goals have hurt them.
Well, for Talbot, it will be his first lifetime game against the Ottawa Senators, and it will be a win. Boyle sends the puck to the side of the net. Here's Dominic Moore. And drive in a hand fight side of the net. Ottawa gets back out to center. Turris to the line and in. Slides through, loses the puck with MacArthur there, tipped off his stick. Centering pass to Turris is knocked down and chopped back outside the line and down. And they will let the clock run out as the New York Rangers score 4 straight goals to win this game 4-1 over the Ottawa Senators.
A good solid road game by the Rangers, and they just played it nice and simple, and they took the opportunities when they came their way, and on the turnovers they buried them, and a real solid road win for the Rangers 4-1. And for the Senators, the loss, and they're going to have to find their emotional connection to the game in their next game, because tonight they just did not have it.
Rangers head to Washington, Senators as well on Tuesday.